to the second season of WION Business Masters, a show that offers you exclusive insights into the journeys and strategies of global business leaders and how they've placed India at the top of the world business rank. Well, our guest today is somebody who operates in an industry that most of us rarely think about until something goes wrong. Yet it is one that determines the safety of our water, the health of our cities, and the resilience of our infrastructure. Today, we're joined by Mr. Ankur Periwal, Managing Director of KPT Piping Systems Private Limited, which is India's largest manufacturer of PPER pipes and fittings. Mr. Periwal, it's a pleasure to have you with us on WION Business Masters.
Thank you for having me here.
Now, sir, you have transformed KPT into a category leader which is focused on safe, high-quality potable water piping by combining technical leadership with strategic global expansion. Now, most people don't think about pipes in their walls until something goes wrong. I'm curious to know, Mr. Periwal, what attracted you to an industry which remains invisible until the moment of crisis?
See, obviously, it remains invisible as till the time that nothing happens to the building, nothing happens to the water supply in the building. But it's not some sort of a strategic decision to start with. It was a decision based upon gut feeling, and we came to know about the product. It's a very good product, being German developed, German technical product. So we came to know about the properties of this product in 2006 and 7, and from there onwards, this journey began. We started our production in 2008 for PPR, and here we are today.
Right, and Mr. Periwal, you come from a traditional business background. What kind of a role did that play in shaping your understanding of how businesses work? And I'm also curious to know what made you branch away from that business and start something of your own from scratch.
Mine is a traditional Marwadi business family, and my grandfather, sadly his father passed away at the age of 13. So my grandfather ventured into cotton and mustard business at the age of 13, right? So that is like he worked his entire life till the day he passed away in 2003. And me spending most of the time with my grandfather, I learned the skills and traits of how he operates, how he did the business, how he actually developed the skills for day-to-day challenges, which made me realize my strengths when I started this journey. And I'm sure whatever you learn early on in your life, be it from your parents, be it from your mentors, be it from teachers, your college professors, they all teach you something in life, right? So it's like an onward journey. You don't have a destination over there. It's a complete transformation that you have to have if you want to succeed in any walk of life, be it business, be it job, be it any other thing. So a traditional business background has helped me in terms of understanding the details, understanding the challenges that I faced in my life, that yes, you can get through those if your intent is right and if you're working with the right pattern, right manner, and if you have got a good team under you, definitely you could achieve much bigger things than you would have ever imagined initial part of your life.
Absolutely. It's very interesting what you've said, that perhaps the journey is the destination, and then it makes it very important the people that you choose to be a part of your journey. People place a lot of emphasis on finding the right life partner. But similarly in business, how critical it is to finding the right business partner, and what are the qualities a founder should look out for beyond shared ambition?
See, for me, this thing comes at the very end, very fag, and I don't even consider the share patterns or anything, right? For any business to succeed, you need like-minded people on your side. You can't be just with random people who do not have any vision or do not even understand your vision. So this has to be taken into account. You cannot just go there and see people as that, okay, you are putting in something in the company, you are putting in so much money, so let's give you this much share. This doesn't work like that, right? For long-term vision. For a myopic view, that's okay. If somebody wants to get out of the business, sell a share or something later on, get the profit out of the business. Whereas my perspective is completely different. I have seen businesses which have faltered. I have seen businesses which have grown from zero to where they are today, and which have gone from 100 to 0 maybe. So it's like you need like-minded people on your side. Fortunately enough, I've got beautiful family, I've got wonderful partner, I have got wonderful people in the company who are taking the company forward, and which is of critical importance in any business, I presume.
Absolutely, sir. And what you've done with KPT is commendable. It's now India's largest PPR manufacturer. Now, when you look back, was there one defining decision, or was it a series of strategic decisions which were also consistent that led you here?
I won't say, see, it's never one defining moment or one defining decision, never. It's not like that. If you want to develop a long-term business, it always has to be constant growth, constant learning, right? You go through the business. It's like just like reading a book, right? From one page to another, to another, to another. Similar is the phase of business. First you come into a product, right? You develop the product. Then you have to develop the market for it. Then you have to develop the aftermarket for it. So it's like, you can't say, I wouldn't say in last 18 years, it's one defining moment or decision that has changed the perspective or changed the dimension of the company. It has been constant learning since the day I began the journey till today. I've been learning, and I tend to keep on learning from people outside, which is why I just keep exhibiting. I've done more than maybe 100 exhibitions in last few years. And in all those exhibitions, we go there and we tend to learn from the people, from other companies, what they're doing, what R&D they're doing. So this is constant learning process.
Absolutely, and it also keeps you young, perhaps. And Mr. Periwal, piping, we understand it's not a consumer-facing industry. It is, in many ways, a public health industry. Now, why do you think that critical infrastructure like this remains so under-discussed in policy and urban planning, and this is despite its direct and immediate impact on public health?
I won't say that it is very under-discussed, or nowadays it's like it's become at the forefront with the progressive scheme of our beloved Prime Minister, the Jal Jeevan Mission, right? The scheme that is taken almost to every household, drinking water, portable drinking water to be supplied to every household. That is a phenomenal scheme for a country, size of a country like India, right? So it's not that it's been underlooked. Obviously, it was done previously. It was not given that much importance. But at this juncture, water being the most essential commodity, right? So it has been given that kind of importance now in the policies. And I'm quite sure in coming times, we would see very good changes, very good policies which are going to be completely in sync with the manufacturers and the consumers. Like, we are going to do a very big event on water, the Elixir of Life, which is in collaboration with the American Society, and which is going to happen in April in Kashi. So on the backdrop of Ganges, we are going to do it just to make everybody aware about the importance of water.
Right, and Mr. Periwal, based on what you just said, we talk about the future of AI, automation, space tech, in the very same breath that we talk about the AQI, or the safety of the water that we're drinking. And the irony here is as urgent as it is fundamental. Now, I want to ask, in that particular context, what do you see as the next wave of innovation in the piping industry? Is it innovation, or perhaps is it implementation that we need?
I would say it's more of innovation, not implementation as such. Implementations are going on, right? At every level of district level or the community levels, it is going on. But I would say that it's more of the innovation part that is lagging right now in the piping industry, and which is happening on a day-to-day basis. All the manufacturers, new upcoming manufacturers, as well as the old manufacturers, they're all trying to bring out the best products into the market. And the best innovation that I could think of, like you just mentioned about the AQI, right? So AQI is the air quality is being monitored through the AQI. Similarly, we would want and urge the government to come up with some kind of WQI maybe, or something like that, where the quality of the water can be monitored, which is supplied to every individual household in the country. So even that is going to be a progressive thing for our country to move forward.
Absolutely, sir. That's a fair point there. Now, KPT is the first Indian PPR manufacturer to earn the NSF certification, which is a global benchmark for drinking water safety. Now, going ahead, what do you think are the non-negotiables, according to you, when it comes to materials, standards, or even oversight?
I would say, see, we got NSF primarily based upon the notion and the theory that once you have global benchmarks inculcated into your company, into your culture, right, then you do not deviate from the quality aspect, which has been my motto since from the very beginning. That this was with the blessings of my father, right? He told me that do anything, don't deviate with the quality, whether you compromise on your profits, on anything, on revenues, but never compromise with the quality part. So which has obviously hurt me a lot in those times, but I'm reaping the rewards for the same right now. And we have stuck with quality in in a massive manner where we procure our raw material from the best suppliers in the globe, like Houston Chemicals from South Korea and Baruch from Abu Dhabi. So they are some of the best raw materials from the planet. Then everything that we procure, whether it's brass, the inserts that we put in our fittings, which are made of almost 56, 57% copper, that is also procured from very sustainable sources. So it's like we try and do our best in terms of maintaining the quality for a very long term, because as I said, water is the quintessential thing for life, right, for anybody. So I wouldn't want my customer or my client to be suffering because of bad quality of water.
Right, and that's interesting, Mr. Periwal, because at a time when players chose to diversify into cheaper piping systems, as you've just mentioned, you made a very conscious decision to specialize. Now, I want to understand what drove that choice and what are the biggest misconceptions that you still encounter in the market when you are trying to make a point for cost versus safety and that belief that cheaper often is good enough?
That has been never a theory for me per se, that cheaper is better. Yep, you can try to reduce the prices based upon certain factors when you have a certain volume in the organization, but then you have to take a lot of fixed costs into account, right, for the company, for the organization. And I would say that cheaper is never the best. It's not like that. That theory maybe applies to some other products which are not consumable, but here you are consuming water from the pipes. So I would recommend everyone to always insist on the qualitative aspect of the product rather than the cost aspect of the product. It's always a better decision. And anyhow, I think any customer, when he goes to buy something in the market, he or she goes to buy something in the market, they try and get for the best product, right? So why do we need to compromise on the piping part? Why do we need to compromise on such an essential part which supplies water to your households and other aspects of the, right, to your toilets, to your day-to-day activities? So it's much safer as well as important to have the quality aspect on your side.
Well said, sir. And now, while strategy, systems and operational efficiency are obviously central to any successful business, many of our viewers, and especially younger ones, are just as curious about the person leading it. So in this next segment, we'd like to get to know you a little better as a leader, how you make decisions, manage change, and steer a business through both growth and uncertainty. Shall we start?
Yep.
Sure. All right, then, if your team had to describe your leadership style in one line, how do you think they would do that?
Very straightforward and ruthless, in terms of that I do not compromise on our principles. We do not compromise on the basics laid out principles that we have in the company, and we never try and deviate from those. So I would insist, even if they want to deviate somewhat to adjust the client's demands, I would never budge into or give into their demands, undue demands, which are not favorable for the organization.
Right. So, and the next question is something that we've already touched upon, but I would like you to expand on that. You've built a company on the idea that quality should never be compromised. Now, what has that cost you, and what has that given you as a reward?
I think that has given us the much needed thing in the market, is that we have built our reputation for ourselves in the market, that they do not compromise with the quality part, right? So the customer can just, keeping his eyes shut, if he hears the name KPT, and if he goes to any shop, any counter, anybody, he knows that he is going to buy a qualitative product. So he doesn't have to think twice to go there. In terms of losing, I would say that I must have lost a lot of orders, lot of things in the past, but that is given, right? You cannot have it all in the business. So you tend to win some, you tend to lose some, and maybe that loss is better for the organization as such.
Right. So, and was there a failure, or rather a setback, that has unexpectedly pushed KPT into a better direction now that you're thinking about it in retrospection? Yeah,
initially there were 3 directors in the company. So one of the directors did not have that kind of vision, and he didn't want to continue in the fashion that maybe the other were aligned. And I think somewhere around 2017-18, he left. At that moment, we were very small in size. But after that, because I had been able to take control and take gain of the operations and marketing and everything. So I think that has given us good returns in last 7 to 8 years.
Mr. Periwal, you said that your ambition is to make PPR the fastest growing segment by 2030. Now, what needs to change industry-wide for that to happen?
A lot of things need to change for that. A lot of things. I'm quite sure within next 5 years, I'll try my level best to make it a global household product. And we are succeeding in our endeavor. But I'm quite sure some of the manufacturers, my competitors, my peers, they are also now catching up on. And they're also trying to propagate PPR, which is in the world, if you go to the world, 45% market share globally in plumbing is with PPR, whereas in India it is just 2% as of now. So my ambition is actually, my aim is to take it to at least 10 to 15% in the Indian market in coming 5 to 7 years. And it's going to take a lot of effort doing, which we as an organization are trying very hard. And I'm quite sure that it is going to yield good results for us in the future.
So correct me if I'm wrong here, but manufacturing leadership often means making decisions with delayed gratification. Now, how do you stay patient in a world that's obsessed with speed, or rather defined by it?
I'm an avid listener. I do try and listen more. I'm not an avid reader, but I do tend to listen. So once I heard Warren Buffett that normally people want quick money, quick buck, right? So what stuck me with him was that he said that business is not a sprint, it's a marathon, right? So that struck a chord with me that, obviously you can't take it, maybe you're there tomorrow, you're not there tomorrow, it doesn't matter. Business is a marathon, so you need to keep on running that marathon.
Well said, sir. Business is not a marathon.
Business is not a sprint.
Business is not a sprint, it's a marathon. Interesting, sir. That it will definitely stay with me also for a while. But what has been the most personally rewarding moment in building KPT for you? Not necessarily the biggest milestone, but the most meaningful one for you.
I would say when Mr. Salman Khan endorsed me for the first time during one of his movies. So that was one moment which actually stuck with me, which actually made me realize, okay, now we have built something that Mr. Khan has now started promoting KPT. So that was something which was I was really happy for.
It's fascinating, sir. And as you expand into new products beyond PPR, like PVC and SWR piping, what kind of a future do you see for the company going forward?
See, our target is very clear. I want to make KPT a $100 million company by 2027, which is why we are working in the same direction. And I would say that with PVC and SWR, we have got enhanced ammunition in our camp to go for kill in the retail channel sales market, which is actually where we are trying to consume the product.
Over the past few years, the way we think about work, balance and leadership has shifted drastically. Well, it's driven in large part by the younger generation, which is why I want to step away from the business for a moment and talk about how you manage your time, stay grounded and continue learning behind the scenes. Now, so work-life balance is something that everyone talks about, but research shows that founders think more about integration. They're not thinking about their personal and professional life as clean bifurcations, but rather they're integrating both. What approach do you take in your life?
So initially, it can never be work-life balance. Initially, I would say first decade or so, when you're building a business, you're quite prepared that if your intent is there to actually build the business, I'm quite sure every founder on this planet has been through the journey that I've been through. And initially, it can't be there. Maybe after a certain stage, I won't even agree to that the founders can have a work-life balance ever in their lives, right? So what you tend to do is, as you rightly said, integration. You try and take everything along in your stride. You try and take family along with you on maybe business trips like I do sometimes. I take them to whenever I'm going for an expo or exhibition abroad where I'm putting up a stand. I try and go there and get my family along with me, so that actually helps me spend time with them as well as I can do my business activities.
Right, sir. And you know, the next trend is that many professionals end up tying their self-worth to the work that they're doing, which is why sometimes it affects their decision-making and also personal well-being if not managed carefully. Now, how do you maintain perspective and carve out space to recharge without letting work take over you completely?
I would say I'm completely complete movie buff, as well as I love listening songs. So maybe I'm not an avid reader, but I do definitely tend to listen to songs, and I've got a beautiful space in my house where generally when I'm too stressed or when some things are not working out and I need to have my own me time, so I generally go there and just sit and listen to my melodies, my list of songs, my movies. I just watch those over there. So that gives me a clearer perspective as to, okay, today may be not yours, but tomorrow definitely you're again at the podium, at the stage, and the world is your stage. So you just go there and keep doing your work.
Absolutely, sir. And is there a particular song or a particular movie that stuck with you over the years and has, in a way, influenced your decision making and your style as a leader?
There might be quite a few movies, right, where some of the movies in the old 60s, 70s, they tend to give you perspective on family values. But one movie which has always stuck with me is Three Idiots. And I loved that movie. I watched maybe it 100 times. And that movie, the one thing that I've taken away from that movie, which has helped me personally in my career, in my establishing the organization, is the dialogue from Amir Khan that do not go for the money, but go for the excellence part. So I always try and tend to reach out to the excellence part. Maybe we are not there yet, but the hunt is on.
And before we wrap up this particular segment of our show, Mr. Periwal, how about we do a quick rapid fire round?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, what do you trust more, process or people?
People.
A habit you're very strict about, no matter how busy the day gets.
My workout.
And when you have to make a difficult decision, do you rely more on data or do you rely more on instinct?
Instinct.
Interesting. And what's harder to build according to you, Mr. Periwal? Is it a product or a reputation?
The product builds the reputation.
And lastly, what's something that you would never compromise on?
Quality.
Well said, Mr. Periwal, and that leads us to the next segment of our show, where I want to turn the focus outward to younger professionals and aspiring leaders who are watching and learning from this show here, and drawing from your journey, your choices and your experiences. What are the lessons that they should carry forward as they build their own paths? What would the advice be that you would give somebody who's starting out?
What I would give to my younger self, or to any young person who's watching this episode, who's watching this and learning about how to master a business, right? It's always your grit, your determination, your passion for your work, no matter what you have to put in, what you have to go through. Like you can hear in every entrepreneur in the business, in the industry, from any industry, any walk of industry, right? They'll all have the same set of answers that I'm giving you, but the younger generation should definitely hold on to the belief system, their belief system. I've held on to my belief system that it is possible and probable, and I presume the younger generation should also focus more on their belief system rather than just going by the people's word that this is not going to work or that is not going to work. They should always concentrate upon their belief system, and if they really want it, if they really want that thing to happen, they should have their belief system strong enough to go through any challenges they come across.
Right, and ethics in manufacturing are often tested, especially where cost cutting is tempting. Now, how do you suggest that these young leaders stay aligned with their beliefs and their values that we've just mentioned?
See, obviously there would be times, everything is not going to be hanky-panky and any time in your favor. There are going to be times when your principles, your values are going to be challenged by the industry by the very industry that you are into. And I'm quite sure that happens with every other manufacturer. But the ones who have actually given into the demand, the ones who have actually compromised with the quality part, they are obviously going to be out of the business soon. And I'm quite sure the ones who stay on the principles, the ethics, the values, who started with the same vision, the company, who actually started with the same vision, are now thriving with the same vision across, even after such a long period. So I would say that yes, the values are very important in terms of scaling up a company.
Right, and while it's important to keep the values constant, the world that we live in and the world as we know it has changed drastically as compared to the last 1 decade, 2 decades. Now, with sustainability, climate pressures, and there's new material shaping the next decade, what should young professionals prepare for the disruption? What do you think is going to be the next disruption ahead which they should brace themselves for?
See, a lot of geopolitics is happening, right? Geopolitics challenges are something which we do not have under our control. Something is happening somewhere. Something is happening in Iran, something is happening in Ukraine, something is happening in US. So nothing is going to be in our control, right? So you have to be prepared at all times for any eventuality. I myself be prepared. I myself let myself be prepared for any eventuality on a daily basis, because you never know tomorrow what is going to happen. So you have to be prepared for tomorrow. If there is a case, if there is anything that happens tomorrow which is not in your favor, you have to be prepared for that today itself. You can't be just going on with the same belief system or same challenges, same things of principles for a very long period of time.
You're right, change is the only constant. And now lastly, Mr. Periwal, when you think of legacy, what do you hope the next generation carries forward from your journey?
The next generation will carry forward, definitely. I'm quite sure that the next generation is going to carry forward the determination, the values that I've built this company with, and the values that my parents, my family has given me. I've tried inculcating those values into my team, my staff, and I'm quite sure that the next generation is going to carry forward the same legacy in coming times.
Very well said, Mr. Periwal. Thank you so much for reminding us that some of the most integral businesses do not sit in the spotlight. Rather, they sometimes sit behind the walls, quietly safeguarding lives. That was Mr. Ankur Periwal, Managing Director of KPT Piping Systems Private Limited.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. It was a wonderful conversation. Thank you for being so candid with us and our viewers. And to our viewers, thank you so much for joining us. We will continue to bring you stories of leaders who are redefining entrepreneurship, reshaping industries, and challenging the way we think about business and its impact on society. You've been watching WION Business Masters Season 2 with me, Diksha Bisla.